Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Commentary. If you are familiar with the show, if this is your first time checking it out, then welcome. We're going to talk sports, culture, and everything that, is just on my mind. Anything that crosses it, we're going to talk about it. But let's jump right into it. The NBA playoffs, I'm a fan, you're a fan, and we got to discuss. Week one is in the books. Week one is a wrap of the NBA playoffs, and it's time to talk about what we learned, okay? Let's start off with the Bucks. Giannis Antetokounmpo and company. They seem for real. They seem like they are headed to the finals, or at least into round two, with the way the team is happening. But my question is, and I've been pondering this the whole time since they brought out the broom, and, like Giannis said, they had to finish their food. They didn't want to leave nothing on the plate. Respect. Swept the Heat. Last year, the Heat went to the finals, and I had this feeling, right? In my head, I'm thinking to myself, with Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo, are these boys for real? Even the emergence of Tyler Hero, they look kind of legit last year. I'm like, they weren't expected to go to the finals, but they did. This year, I'm expecting, okay, we find out, are the Heat as legit as they were last year? They got swept in the first round of the playoffs, and it just got me wondering, are the Bucks really that team this year? Are they really that for real? Did they really get that much better adding Drew Holiday, PJ Tucker and company, Chris Middleton stepping up and scoring more? Are the Bucks really that serious, or did the Heat just massively overachieve last season? That's the question. And please drop a comment. What do you think? Because this series alone, season where you just was like, Giannis, they're trying to put pieces around you to do what you do so you guys could get to that next level of basketball, knowing that you have to see those boys in the West, the Lakers, the Clippers, whoever, because the West is always strong and dominant. And then with the retooling of the Nets, you have to make some type of moves, right? So in the first round, the Bucks had 6 players averaging double-digit points. That's crazy, right? Giannis Antetokounmpo led the way with 23 points, 15 rebounds, 7 assists. He was almost averaging a triple-double in the first round of the playoffs. You had Chris Middleton. He had 21 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. That's what he was averaging. And Drew Holiday averaging 15 points, 6 rebounds, and 9 assists. Almost averaging a double-double himself. They were playing out of their minds. So I'm like, wow. And everyone took notice. They're like, the Bucks ain't playing games. Giannis is like, my brother won a ring with the Lakers. I want to know what it feels like to win one with my team. Will they get the job done? Round 2 is going to be looking like they're going to be playing the Nets. Whew, that's a tall order. I don't know if they're going to get it done. But again, I just want to hear in your comments, are the Bucks really that for real this year, or was it a fluke for the Heat to make it last year to the finals and this year kind of exposed them and made it real? Yeah, I'm not going to. They just didn't play well. It looked like the Bucks just came ready. I just don't know what it was. You tell me your thoughts. Who are you? Are you disappointed in the Heat, or are you just really that impressed with the Bucks? Moving along, the Suns even a series with the Lakers, 2-2. And the biggest news, the biggest takeaway is, if you're a Lakers fan, how concerned are you that Anthony Davis is injured? A groin injury, and it's unclear his status for game 5. Now, if he is missing in game 5 and you're a Suns fans, you gotta be thinking Chris Paul and them boys, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, with head coach, and probably my vote, if I had a chance to vote for a coach of the year, Monty Williams. You got to be licking your lips. You got to be seeing blood in the water, and you got to go straight jaws. You got to go shark mode. Why? Because if Anthony Davis is injured and does not play in game 5, this is your chance. This is your chance to seize the moment, win that game, and then try to win it. Try to win game 6 and get the Lakers out of the playoffs. This is your moment. This is your moment. And you know what? For any player that has not played in the finals, 32 and above, I'm not going to lie, I would be excited to see Chris Paul play for a finals championship. I feel like he at least deserves that. Him and Carmelo. Do I see Portland making it to the finals? No. But for Carmelo to play in the finals, or CP3, one of them boys, like they put in the work, right? But you got to earn it. It's got to be earned. And I think this is their moment. LeBron knows that too. And he said it was a major blow to the Lakers, and it will be a major blow if Anthony Davis can't play in game 5, because that means what? He's going to have to shoulder the load. He's got to do it all, which LeBron's used to. But come on, at age 36, do you really want to do it all? I'm going to go with no. Now, Marc Gasol did say, with Anthony Davis being out, if he is out, then, the Lakers still, they're confident that they can win. It sounds good, but when you got Devin Booker, Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton, Payne, and them boys looking like, oh, we ready. We coming for you. I don't know. I think the Suns' chances of taking the Lakers out just got a lot better. And then you got to worry. You got to worry about the fact that what if the Lakers do lose game 5? Can Anthony Davis be ready for game 6? Does that put pressure? Do you put pressure on Anthony Davis to try to come back quicker? Can he? I don't know. And unfortunately, when he went down, social media wasn't playing games. Social media was like, Anthony Davis is made of glass. You expect at some point for Anthony Davis to break down. It just is what it is. And even bigger question, if you're a Lakers fan, right now you're happy because you have LeBron and AD. But what happens when you no longer have LeBron and you just have AD? And AD struggles to remain healthy. You're going to need somebody else. You better start looking now. You better figure it out. But it is Lakerland, and people do love to go live in Los Angeles. So therefore, you'll figure it out quicker than most teams will. But needless to say, Anthony Davis, the brother cannot stay off the injured list. So therefore, what do? Who's your next option? You're going to need a healthy dose of Alex Caruso and Kyle Kuzma to step up. And I just don't know where your extra scoring is going to come from, because, again, the Suns is not going to back down. So that series just got a lot more interesting. Moving across over to the East, where the Atlanta Hawks have a 3-1 lead over the Knicks. I was about to say 4-1. Whoa. I know if you're a Knicks fan, you're like, calm down. But let's talk about this, right? The Knicks. If you're a Knicks fan, first of all, nothing but praise for you guys, because for a couple decades now, it's been rough. It has been rough if you're a New York Knicks fan. Matter of fact, I had a coworker. He was a Knicks fan, and I was like, bro, are you going to move over to be a Brooklyn fan now? Because you might not be able to celebrate the Knicks for a while. And boy, was I wrong. Look how quick the turnaround Tom Thibodeau has done, which is another candidate for Coach of the Year. And I wouldn't even be mad if he won the Coach of the Year, because why? It's just an incredible job that he's done, the turnaround that he's done with the Knicks, with most improved player of the year, Julius Randle on the team. But the true story, because Julius Randle has been struggling in the first round of the playoffs, the true story is Derrick Rose coming in to save the day. Derrick Rose. Let's talk about the love between Tom Thibodeau and Derrick Rose. And also, let me not forget Taj Gibson. When you got a veteran that's just scrappy, who's hungry, like Taj Gibson acting like this is what, freshman year playing or something like that. Look at Taj Gibson out there working. Old man out there getting it. But the Atlanta Hawks, Trae Young, Ice Trae. I don't care how much you put chants out there about how bald Trae Young is. Trae Young don't care. He putting up points. He's scoring. He passing the ball. And he got attitude while he doing it. This is Trae Young's coronation for the NBA playoffs. And boy, is he ready for the dance. He got his shoes on. And also, too, they look good in them MLK jerseys. Try to give me one. My girl tried to give me an MLK jersey, and it didn't happen. Hawks, what's up with that? Let's make it happen. I mean, apparently we had purchased them. We'll talk about that in another story. I'm just literally disappointed. Am I a Hawks fan? No, because I am from Louisiana. But I will say I support Trae Young and the boys. I like them. I'm a Pelicans fan, and just watching this playoffs unfold just makes me that much more upset about not seeing Zion Williamson, Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball in the playoffs, as they should be. But maybe next year. It better be next year. But we're not talking about the Pelicans. We're talking about the Hawks. Ice Tray, man. And you know what? The reason why the Hawks are going to go past the Knicks is because the Knicks need more scoring. They need more help. You can't just rely on Derrick Rose. And yes, I don't know. I'm looking at RJ Barrett, and I still don't know what to make of the kid. I hope he has a bright future in the NBA, but he's got to step up more. He's got to hit some shots, man. Alec Burks is doing what Alex Burks is capable of doing. He can get hot quick. Julius Randle, man, it's been a struggle for him, but he's trying. He's getting better. But it just might be too late. Because even when Trae Young isn't hitting from deep, he's finding somehow Clint Capella in the paint. And then there's just too many shooters. You got Gallinari hitting. You got Bogdanovic hitting. You got Herter and Hunter. Like, they deep. Deeper than what the Knicks are, at least, to get the job done. And even John Collins, if you leave him open, he's going to hurt you from three. So I think the Hawks, in the end, will have too much firepower. I think the Knicks going to be able to pull off one more game in Madison Square Garden because, they don't want to lose in front of their fans, right? But then they're going to come back. They're going to go back to the ATL, and it's going to be a wrap. Ice Tray is going to put him in the fridge, and it's going to be over. He's going to ice it right there. Moving along to another series, Brooklyn and Boston. It's not too much. It's basically what I thought. What I truly thought was the Celtics will have enough scrap in them, enough pride in them to win one game. And that one game took Jason Tatum scoring 50. And hats off to Jason Tatum because that boy he's the future of the Boston Celtics. And when he gets in his zone, he don't care who is in front of him. He's going to hoop. And hoop he did. He scored 50 points in one game. And then the other game, game 4 just wasn't as great. But you know what it is? And I'm not going to say it wasn't as great. But again, you didn't have Kemba Walker on the floor. Jaylen Brown, it's sad to see Jaylen Brown on the sidelines because Jaylen Brown would have brought a whole different dynamic, more energy. Smart's doing as best as he can, but those boys are just a different breed over there with Brooklyn. When you looking at Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, James Harden, they're combining for just the three of them alone are combining for 100 points, making up, I believe in game 4, they scored, the three of them combined for 104 points or something crazy like that. What do you do when three people on the team, KD's averaging 30 something points, James Harden averaging 20 to 25 points, and Kyrie Irving's right behind him at 24 points. Those boys are hooping. And then your fourth option, Harris, he's just not missing. If you leave him open, he's going to burn you. So I think that's the beautiful thing about the Nets, that even if the big three aren't popping, they are deep enough to where they got scorers, they got shooters. So goodbye, Celtics. But the bigger story is after game 4, after the blowout, which was Brooklyn doing their thing, demolishing the Celtics. Kyrie added insult to injury by walking out after the game was over and going out to dap his boys, dapping his teammates down, walking them off the court. I don't know why and Kyrie's my dude. I try to, my girl showed me the video clip of it. She was like, babe. And I was like, what? And she's like, babe, another fan threw something at Kyrie. And I'm like, what? Have they not learned yet? What is going on? And we're going to talk about that as well. But yeah, she showed me the video of a fan throwing a bottle at Kyrie. And I was like, for what? And then another video surfaced of Kyrie walking to the middle of the court and blatantly stepping on the face of the Celtic logo. Now, why did he have to do that? I think that there's a story there. I think that there's some bad blood, and I don't think it's between Kyrie and the players. I think it's between Kyrie and the organization, Kyrie and the fans. There's something there. And I just wish I could talk to Kyrie and ask him that question and have a sit down talk. Kyrie, if it's some chance this gets to you and you feel like opening up about it, we'll talk. But there's something there between Kyrie and Boston, in which, again, now here's the bigger issue. As a fan, you are a spectator. You have paid to go watch professionals do their job. This is their job. No one's showing up to your job, throwing anything at you. If you work at UPS and I go to your job and step on your UPS logo in disgust, are you going to throw a bottle at me? No, you're not. You don't care. Let's be real. You don't care. So, and I know as a fan, it's hard to say this because as a fan, you just feel connected, especially when you're from that place, when you're from that city, when you're from that state. It represents you, right? So to see Kyrie step on that logo, I know it had to burn your chest. But that's when you boo him more, or you create a creative chant that, you let him know you don't appreciate what he did. But when you take it a step further and you throw a bottle at him, now you're. So I'm going to read this statement from TD Garden, and it says, a guest was arrested by Boston police at the end of tonight's Boston Celtics game for throwing an object. We will support and provide assistance to Boston police. This incident is under further review. We have a zero tolerance for violations of our guest code of conduct, and the guest is subject to a lifetime ban from TD Garden. Let's talk about this lifetime ban situation first. I tried to do some research on it, and if you know more about the topic, if you know more about lifetime bans, please drop a comment, let me know. And also too, do you think, after we talk about this, given my take on it, do you think a lifetime ban is enough? All right, so basically what a lifetime ban is, TD Garden and others entities like it, if you are caught in a violation and they give you a lifetime ban, basically they take your picture and plaster it all over the arena. So if staff finds you, if they see you, they kick you out, get them out of here. But here's the thing. When it's game day and thousands of people are flooding those gates and coming in and out and going wherever, it's hard, super hard to pay attention to that one picture of that one person who's not supposed to be there. So they can still slip through the cracks and go to the arena. So is that really a punishment for the crime? Is it really punishment for what they did? Do you think that's enough, or should there be a harsher treatment? Now, other players have spoken up about the situation, and they have said that someone needs to be made an example of. That was what James Harden said. They said they're not going to stop, and someone needs to be made an example of. Because again, if the lifetime ban is really that kind of simple to get by and get through, like if they catch you, it's like a 50-50 chance. If they catch you, they caught you, they kick you out. But if they don't catch you, you back in the building doing what you do. And so let's just play devil's advocate for a second, right? You are upset. Kyrie stepped on your logo. Disrespect. But then you throw that bottle at Kyrie and you hit him in the eye, right? Now that's battery. Now, what if you cost him a playoff? Or he can't. What if you cost him his eye? Think about that. So again, you are a spectator. These players are not your property. No matter what the circumstance is, these players are not your property. They're human beings as well. They have rights. You cannot be throwing objects at players. You are a spectator. You have paid to watch. That's what you paid for. So I think that there needs to be some type of harsher treatment. I think that once you are caught, you definitely need to be sent over to the police, and there needs to be more. I do think that a fan needs to be made an example of. What that example is, I don't know, but there needs to be some type of lawful situation that you're like, damn, that happened to him? That happened to her? I don't want that. So even if you are stupid enough to try to do something like this in the future, you are deterred from it because someone has been made an example of. But what are your thoughts? Hit me up, drop them in the comments. And last but not least, let's just look at the rest of how the playoffs have unfolded. Really quick, something to watch. And I literally thought that the Clippers were going to have to get dismantled because the Clippers at home blew their games away, right? 0-2. Dallas came in there and just owned them. And you're like, wow, this is not good. And as much as you guys want to make fun of Paul George, Playoff P has showed up. He's doing his thing. It's not Paul George's fault. Not at all. But then Ty Lue said something that was kind of crazy. He was like, now the pressure's on Dallas. And you're like, how in the hell is the pressure on Dallas? And they just walked into your building and took 2 games. They didn't steal 1 game. They took 2. And I'm like, I don't know. Whatever Ty Lue is smoking, I want some. Because fam, you down 0-2 and you acting like you got them in the perfect spot, like you rope-a-doping them or something. I don't get it. What type of mind tricks and games you're playing? You are down 0-2 and you got to go to Dallas. But what the hell do I know, right? Because clearly he knew something I didn't. They went into Dallas and took 2 games back from them. Now, reportedly, Luka Doncic is he has some type of nerve damage a little bit, but he's saying he's fine. It's like nerve strain. He'll be fine for game 5 or whatever. But just something to watch, because the Clippers, maybe they do have him where they want him. Maybe they just, I don't know. I don't know the game there. I was about to say maybe they just wanted to make it interesting. But if you're the Clippers, you don't have time to play around with Luka Doncic. You don't want to make anything interesting and give the Mavericks a chance to win. But here we are nonetheless. The series is tied 2-2. Who do you think is going to win this actually? I now think the momentum is back with the Clippers. And I think they might actually make it out of round 1, which it was highly doubtful for a second. I don't know, but here we are. Looking at the Utah and Memphis, man, honestly, I'm happy for Memphis. I just don't think with Donovan Mitchell on the court, they're a different Jazz team. Now, if Donovan Mitchell wasn't on the court, I feel like the Jazz and I feel like the Nuggets are the same team, right? If Jamal Murray ain't on the court, if Donovan Mitchell ain't on the court, you just got a different team. You got a different dynamic. But, Ja Morant, he's got that pizzazz. He's got that killer instinct. But I think that the Utah is poised. I think that they're going to be too much for Memphis. And again, they're going to get the job done. And then Philly, I'm not even mentioning Washington. They're going to sweep them boys. Embiid is playing like his best basketball in years. Like he's doing his thing. So they're going to move on to round 2. And am I missing anybody? Oh, Denver and Portland. I honestly think Denver might lose. Because why? Damian Lillard and company. There's some veteran savvy players, and I think they're not going to let Portland down, right? City of Portland, I think you are in great hands with Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum, and the rest of them boys. And so I think Denver's a different team when you don't have Jamal Murray on the court. Jokic clearly needs some help, which is weird to say when you got Aaron Gordon and you got that, what's the kid's name? I can't think of his name right now. Big, tall gentleman, whichever. They just don't have enough firepower. I see his face in my head, but I'm blanking. So, you're going to drop a comment and be like, T, I believe you're talking about this guy. And I'm going to be like, for sure I am. But it doesn't matter because Jamal Murray is not on the court. And Jamal Murray gives you that. He gives you that score and he gives you those assists. He gives you that swag. And it's just like Jokic can only do so much. Even though he's having an MVP year, he might win the MVP. They're going to get bounced. I think Portland's going to win this one. So your thoughts, your comments, all on what you think. I want to know your takes. What are your reviews on the first round of the NBA playoffs? And yes, we will talk more sports in the future. But right now, I feel like the NBA is popping, right? Where Julio's going to go. I now hear that the Seahawks kind of want to. Russell's been talking to talking to Julio about going to the Seahawks. That's all good and great. And I refuse to talk about Tebow right now. If he makes the team, I might talk about Tebow even if he don't make the team. But people are so like huffing and puffing about Tebow. It's Tebow, man. I'll probably talk about Tebow. Maybe another episode. Maybe another show. We'll talk about it. Julio and the Seahawks, though, that's interesting. With Metcalf, interested. Ooh, that'd be nasty. But your thoughts and comments. It's been a great show. Like I said, if this is your first time, I appreciate you for watching. Share with your friends, share with your family, share with anybody, man. Share with the guy who takes out your trash. I don't care. Share the show, man. Show me some love. Click, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I appreciate it, man. Until the next show, I'll be back. Peace.